families, petite and sex workers, all found within a quarter mile of each other.
An arrest that was years in the making. Our thanks to Aaron for that. News tonight about convicted killer Alec Murdaugh serving life for killing his wife and son. The disgraced attorney settling a case involving his murdered son, Paul Murdaugh, who was involved in a deadly boat crash back in 2019, killing one person and injuring several others. His father has agreed to pay the families nearly $19 million. Paul was awaiting trial on charges for the crash when he and his mother, Maggie, were killed. Now to the race for the White House and what quarterly fundraising numbers have revealed. Ron DeSantis is shaking up his campaign, cutting staff and reining in spending. ABC's Rachel Scott is with the governor in South Carolina.
Hello, South Carolina.
Florida Governor Ron DeSantis tonight traveling to this key primary state, hoping to shake up his campaign and jumpstart his stalled bid for the White House. DeSantis taking on Republican frontrunner Donald Trump with this pledge.
Yes, we will actually build the border wall, which we need.
Since he entered the race in May, DeSantis has followed further and further behind Donald Trump. He now trails the former president by about 30 points among Republicans nationwide. He's even way behind among Republicans in his home state of Florida. And today, that new headline, the governor's campaign is bleeding cash. He's raised about $20 million in the past 6 weeks, but already spent nearly $8 million of it, including $180,000 on private jets. The campaign now tightening purse strings, laying off about a dozen staffers. All the while, the Florida governor under relentless attack from Trump.
The sanctimonious and his establishment handlers are wasting such precious time and resources to divide the party. They're dividing the party.
DeSantis says reports of his struggles are off base, insisting things will change once voters get to know him.
When we're able to make that case to voters directly, we get a tremendous response. And so we're excited for the debates in August.
But here in South Carolina, Republican voters like J.R. Fountain aren't so sure. Do you think DeSantis can beat Trump?
I don't know. I think he should. He's smarter, he's younger, he's more vibrant, but Trump's base, Trump's loyalty is deep.
It sure seems that way. Our thanks to Rachel for that. Russia's Vladimir Putin is furious after yet another attack on a key bridge, Europe's longest, which connects Crimea to Russia. James Longman is inside Ukraine for us tonight.
Vladimir Putin tonight vowing to respond after the latest attack on a vital bridge that connects Russian-occupied Crimea to the Russian mainland. Videos circulating online show the immediate aftermath. The Kremlin claims Ukraine used underwater drones to strike the Kerch bridge. The claims are unverified, but the attack shut down traffic on this crucial supply route for Russian forces. Satellite images show a portion of it knocked out. Russian officials say a couple driving on the bridge was killed and their daughter seriously injured in the blast. The 12-mile Kerch Bridge is Europe's longest and has been attacked last October in a massive truck explosion. It took months to repair, and Putin made a point of driving across it after it was rebuilt. Today's strike coming just hours before Russia said it was suspending the deal that allows Ukraine to export millions of tons of grain through the Black Sea. Russia claims international restrictions have hampered its own exports of food and fertilizer, and that it might consider resuming the safe passage agreement only when its demands are met. Experts say if Ukrainian grain shipments are interrupted, it could lead to famine in some countries and rising food prices around the world.
This is a deeply regrettable and, as I said, a dangerous decision that we urge Mr. Putin to reverse.
Thanks to James for that. The frightening scene at a carnival in Antioch, Illinois, about 60 miles from Chicago. A 10-year-old boy was thrown from a ride after authorities said he wasn't properly fastened in. The boy is in critical condition after having surgery this morning. The mayor called for the other rides to be shut down as well. British actress, singer, and style icon Jane Birkin has died at 76. Birkin was found dead in her Paris home this weekend, according to French media reports. Birkin rose to stardom in the 60s and 70s. Her famous bangs and casual chic style epitomized her in France, and the legendary Birkin bag by luxury French brand Hermès, which was named in her honor. In her adopted France, Birkin was known for her political activism and fight against AIDS. The cause of her death is not known. The only passenger on a small plane traveling from Westchester County, New York to Martha's Vineyard ended up taking over the controls after the pilot suffered a medical emergency. The plane made a hard landing, one of the wings breaking in two. The pilot is hospitalized in critical condition. Janae Norman has the story.
Tonight, a frightening and dangerous emergency landing navigated by a passenger forced to take control female passenger, then incredibly jumping into action, taking the controls of the plane and crash landing just off the runway, coming to a stop on the plane's belly with no landing gear. The aircraft's left wing snapping in half.
Respond to the airport for an unknown medical.
The pilot and passenger were both raced to the hospital as the airport was shut down for a time. Tonight, the FAA and National Transportation Safety Board are both investigating the crash.
Our thanks to Janae for that. So much more to get to tonight coming up. Our best-selling books have been turned into some of the most buzzy films and TV shows of the last few years. We talked to Jenny Han about XO Kitty, The Summer I Turned Pretty, and how success has opened doors for others. But next, days of intense rain triggers deadly landslides and flooding in South Korea's central region, why even more parts of the country could be in danger.
You're ready to share your grandma's pan dulce recipe. With Union Bank joining U.S. Bank, you get access to more branches, bankers, and digital resources, so you can share with your community the sweetest pan dulce. Learn more at usbank.com/more. Member FDIC.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation by offering comfortable and spacious cabins. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
As a parent, no 2 days are ever the same. At Care.com, you can find trusted and flexible sitters to help manage your family's ever-changing schedule. Care.com can even help you out with housekeepers, dog walkers, senior caregivers, and more, so you can find care for all you love. And 100% of caregivers who use Care.com have been background checked with CareCheck, a key first step in hiring confidently. To get the help you need to make it all work, sign up now and find a great sitter at Care.com. Stop your search for the one and find your perfect mattress match at Mancini Sleep World with our side-by-side try before you buy event. Only at Mancini Sleep World will you find your perfect match. Compare Tempur-Pedic, Avocado, Nectar, and more. Plus get 3 for 3 financing. Mancini Sleep World is committed to your sleep with the best prices, free next-day delivery, and our dedicated comfort guarantee. Your perfect match is waiting for you online or in stores at Mancini Sleep World.
I'm Devin Dwyer reporting from Burlington, Vermont. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're watching ABC News Live.
Welcome back, everyone. We are tracking several headlines around the world. Days of intense rain in South Korea's central region has left 40 people dead from landslides and the flooding of an underpass that trapped motorists in just seconds. South Korea has a mountainous geography where development has disturbed national conditions and left some regions vulnerable to landslides. According to officials, an estimated more than 1 million locations in the country are susceptible to landslides, but only a tenth are monitored by authorities. Mexican authorities found and released 196 migrants stacked up in a tractor trailer in Veracruz on Friday. Officials found 5 Guatemalans, 5 Indians, as well as 19 unaccompanied children and teenagers huddled together in the back of a tractor trailer which was improperly parked. Migrants were put in the National System for Integral Family Development custody. There were no suspects arrested. A mysterious object was discovered on an Australian beach, leaving locals and authorities baffled. The giant cylinder washed up near Green Head in Western Australia, prompting speculation online. The debris was from the missing plane MH370, which disappeared back in 2014. An aviation expert told Reuters that theory, though, is unlikely. Local media reported an investigation is currently underway. Our next guest is the best-selling author behind smash hits like To All the Boys I've Loved Before, The Summer I Turned Pretty, and her latest success, XO Kitty. She's also both creator and co-showrunner on the wildly popular adaptations of both. Let's take a look at one of them.
The school Mom went to is the same one Day goes to. I applied to KISS, and I got in.
Jenny Han, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So, following the highly acclaimed All the Boys I've Loved Before, now comes XO Kitty. Tell people what they can expect.
Well, I think Kitty is the youngest of all the song sisters from the movies, and she's always been my secret favorite.
So she's sort of based on my little sister. And so she gets her own adventure. She gets to go off to Korea to an international boarding school, and there's a mystery, and then there's her first love, and all kinds of drama and romance.
And then you also have The Summer I Turned Pretty, which is returning for its second season. What can you expect there, in particular with the love triangle?
Well, I will say it's heating up.
As love triangles tend to.
Yes. Yeah, and there is also a lot of drama. The first 3 episodes dropped last week, and so we're heading into episode 4 this week.
You're no stranger to seeing your writing turned into these mega hits, whether it's a series or whether it's movies. I've even heard it referred to as Jenny Han universe. What do you make of seeing actually what goes from your head on the big screen?
I mean, to me, it's just like a great extension of storytelling in a way that expands the story in ways that you can't do with a book, because it's visual and you get to work with so many talented actors and just all levels of the crew. So I love that, because as a novelist, it's a pretty solitary endeavor. You're kind of on your own. So I like being a part of a team.
And quite often you really focus on these themes of first love, heartache, the journey into adulthood. Where do you get that particular fascination on those 3 subjects in particular?
I think I've always just been very attuned to adolescence, in part because I think that first times are just so compelling. And when you think back, I think, on your life, you really remember those first times, because everything is so fresh and you haven't really had a heartbreak yet. And so you don't really know that you'll be able to come out of it, you know? And so that's what makes it so, I think, heartbreaking and emotional.
You have Lola Tom, Lana Condor, you've been able to turn many people into these megawatt stars. When you look at what you're doing, as far as being able to give, in particular, Asian women these large platforms, your reaction when you're able to see, like, yeah, I kind of did that as a result of my adaptation, that happened because of my work.
For me, it's very moving. I think growing up, I didn't really get to see that kind of representation on the screen. So to be a part of bringing that to life for younger generations, it's a real privilege.
You're, of course, a member of the Writers Guild of America. We have writers on strike, the actors on strike. How do you anticipate that this all will end, and do you have any idea of the timeline?
I think it's up to the studios. I think that we're all hoping they'll come back to the table and negotiate so we can have fair compensation. I think that's the hope.
And you think that will happen sooner or later? There are many people at home who are desperately wondering.
I mean, for me, I would love it to, because obviously I want to go back to work, go back to making TV. But I think the deal has to be right, and it has to be fair. And I think that's what we're waiting for, is to get that chance to get back in there.
What do you think the biggest sticking point is?
I think that one of them is residuals. The industry has changed so much, and I'm new to TV. I've only been doing it a couple of years now, but I think anyone can see that now with streamers. It's just a very different ballgame, and so then the contracts should really reflect that.
Jenny Han, we thank you so much for coming with us in studio. XO Kitty is streaming now on Netflix, and you can watch the 2nd season of The Summer I Turned Pretty on Prime Video. And still to come, a World War II veteran uses a popular sport to stay active, but he's not keeping the secret of his happiness to himself, how he's spreading the joy.
You're ready to share your grandma's pan dulce recipe. With Union Bank joining U.S. Bank, get access to more branches, bankers, and digital resources, so you can share with your community the sweetest pan dulce. Learn more at usbank.com/more.
You are going the wrong way down the street.
From malaria prevention in Malawi to HIV education in Panama, Peace Corps health volunteers serve boldly in welcoming communities worldwide. Ready to go the distance for a healthier world? Visit peacecorps.gov/bold.
This summer, step into the heart of nature's wildest soundscapes at the Exploratorium. Join us for the Great Animal Orchestra, an immersive audio-visual art experience by Bernie Krause and United Visual Artists. Now through October 15th, celebrate the splendor of the animal world at Pier 15 in San Francisco. Buy tickets at exploratorium.edu/TGAO.
As a parent, no 2 days are ever the same. At Care.com, you can find trusted and flexible sitters to help manage your family's ever-changing schedule. Care.com can even help you out with housekeepers, dog walkers, senior caregivers, and more, so you can find care for all you love. And 100% of caregivers who use Care.com have been background checked with CareCheck, a key first step in hiring confidently. To get the help you need to make it all work, sign up now and find a great sitter at Care.com.
Grab the keys to a new Toyota and get low 3.99% APR financing on a new Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Highlander, and even Tacoma. Toyota. Let's go places. Click the banner or visit buyatoyota.com for details.
A World War II vet is teaching us all a lesson about staying young and being happy. He's embracing pickleball, not just playing it, but teaching it to fellow seniors. Reporter Stacey Sager from her partner station WABC in New York has a story in tonight's local lowdown.
Come on, guys.
If your age is about the same as the temperature outside on this sweltering hot day, most of us wouldn't be doing this. But there's no age limit on pickleball, and most of us aren't Joe Gagan.
Everybody says I'm a freak of nature. All my doctors think I'm a freak of nature.
He's 96 and a half years old and teaches fellow seniors how to play pickleball here in the town of Islip.
It has to make you say to yourself, well, if he can do it, I can do it. When he played down in Florida, there was no age group for him because he was too old, so he had to play with the young fellas, which are probably 85.
Joe's also a World War II veteran and former baseball player who once tried out for the Yankees. But these days, it's pickleball, weight training, and a few other things.
So you also officiate football games. That's not tiring at all.
No, I love it. In fact, in August, I start running to get myself in shape so you don't pull a hamstring or something, you know?
We couldn't help but notice Joe also has abs of steel.
Because this is like...
And he tells us he has no cavities, 20/20 vision, and the agility of someone much, much younger.
What's your biggest tip?
Work out hard to stay in shape, and the guy upstairs is gonna like it.
He also says walk for about 15 minutes after every meal. He swears by it and by the value of this wildly popular game.
The advantage of pickleball is there's not much traffic.
Like all of us, Joe's had to overcome struggles. Never takes off this Superman necklace from his late wife.
I lost my house, I lost my wife, I lost my pillow. Same year, the same month.
But what he's gained,
6 people there, all friends now.
a community of people who all enjoy the same sport as much as they enjoy him.
I'll let the ball come to you. Some sage advice from Joe. Thanks to Stacey for bringing us that. And that's our show for tonight. I'm Lindsay Davis. ABC News Live is here for you all night with the latest news, context, and analysis. You can always find us on Hulu, Roku, the ABC News app, and of course on abcnews.com. Have a great night.
Ready to explore Europe the striped way? Then fly with Condor Airlines. With non-stop flights to Frankfurt, Germany, there are great connection options to several cities. Whether it's the romantic streets of Paris or the stunning beaches of Barcelona, Condor will start your vacation by offering comfortable and spacious cabins. Fly the striped way. Visit condor.com today.
I want you to remember this company, Phoenix American Hospitality. Visit PAHinvest.com. Their team buys world-class hotel brands like Marriott, Hilton, and Hyatt, then maximizes the profits of each operation. While the rest of America deals with the yo-yo stock market, Phoenix American Hospitality has paid their REIT investors more than 12% in annualized profits. Capitalize on the travel boom and diversify your portfolio. Visit PAHinvest.com.
Past performance does not indicate future results.
As a parent, no 2 days are ever the same. At Care.com, you can find trusted and flexible sitters to help manage your family's ever-changing schedule. Care.com can even help you out with housekeepers, dog walkers, senior caregivers, and more, so you can find care for all you love.
and hiring confidently. To get the help you need to make it all work, sign up now and find a great sitter at care.com.
Some people like gifts, others prefer quality time. But the most elite love language? Sharing juicy and tender chicken McNuggets with a crew. Made with all white meat chicken and no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. And nothing's better than pairing it with your favorite sauce, like sweet and sour, ranch, or honey mustard. It's as close to perfection as you can get. So get yourself a 20-piece chicken McNuggets for just $6. Order ahead of them at the app to save time. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Prices and participation may vary. Cannot be combined with any other offer or combo meal.
When I got sent to Idaho to cover the murders of 4 college students, it was a story that didn't make any sense. This is the story of savage murders, a determined small-town police force, and a scholar of crime. I'm Kana Whitworth with ABC News. This is the King Road Killings. The full series is out now. Listen to every episode wherever you get your podcasts.
Reporting from eastern Ukraine, I'm Tom Sifubarich. Wherever the story is, we'll take you there. You're streaming ABC News. Tonight, the urgent search for 2 young children, a brother and sister just 9 months old and 2 years old, swept away the storms of the Northeast. All part of the deadly flooding, the storms and torrential rains in several states. Flash flooding blamed for at least 5 deaths in Bucks County, Pennsylvania. Roads washed away, cars buried under rocks and mud. Thousands of flights delayed or canceled today. Trevor Alt in the flood zone. Also tonight, the deadly and record-breaking heat in the U.S. and across Europe. Here at home, at least 15 states tonight under heat advisories and warnings. Phoenix hitting 110 degrees for the 18th day in a row. And tonight, the stunning temperatures of the waters off Florida and what they have noticed there already. The smoke from the Canadian wildfires moving in again. 20 states tonight under air quality alerts from Montana straight across to the Northeast. Victor Kenda on this heat and climate, and Ginger Z, of course, timing it out. Here in New York tonight, chilling new clues in the serial killer investigation. The suspect, an architect and father, charged with murdering 3 women. How many cases could there be? What authorities are now saying and what they have found in his home. Aaron Kaczynski tonight. The 68-year-old woman forced to jump into action and fly the plane.
You're listening to ABC News. We'll return to ABC News Live in a minute. Right now, the latest headlines from ABC News Radio.
A lot of people had a chance to become an almost billionaire Monday night.
It's time to play America's favorite jackpot game. This is Powerball.
The jackpot approaching 10 figures.
We have another life-changing jackpot for you. It is worth an estimated $922 million.
The numbers 5, 8, 9, 17, and 41. The red Powerball 21. There was no grand prize winner. The jackpot swelling to an estimated $1 billion for the Wednesday night draw. In Alamogordo, New Mexico, police officer Anthony died Sunday, the day after being shot during a traffic stop. The suspect, Dominic De La O, in custody. In Chicago, a group was on a street after a high school reunion when shots from a passing car rang out. 4 people wounded. Ashley Griggs was killed. She was the mother of Carnell Tate, a standout high school football player who became a top recruit for Ohio State University. Richard Cantu, ABC News.
Stay tuned for the next update from ABC News Radio at the top of the hour. Now, back to ABC News Live.
In Bucks County, Pennsylvania, at least 5 people have been killed. And now that search for a 2-year-old girl and her 9-month-old brother washed away when their family's car was suddenly slammed by a wall of water, lifted up, and then washed away. The mother did not survive. The children missing. Nearly 5 inches of rain falling in just 90 minutes in weekend storms, flooding roads, destroying them. That family trying to escape as their car was suddenly carried away by the rushing waters. They weren't out driving through these floods. They